there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hi. Oh man, I wonder how tonight's event's gonna end. Gosh darn it, G, why do you have to instigate so badly? You're just like, Shoo, Sister Shoo, you need a vacation. You've been working so hard. So you know what I'm gonna do? Destroy everything you were working towards. That'll force her to go on a vacation. Totally. Gosh darn it. No, it's okay. We're just gonna punish him. I'm just staring at this map because I'm like, yo, look at how many exits there are. But at the same time, maybe it's not too scary. If anything, I'm gonna assume it's mainly drones that I gotta be worried about. Maybe? Well, I'll find out soon enough. Yeah, how bad will this be? It'll be fine. And I'm gonna be edgy and just bring my normal team just because I might want to farm this later on, you know? So I gotta be prepared. Look at me being prepared. Pitch black. Unfathomable depth without a shred of sunlight. The stifling atmosphere almost feels as heavy as the roof's own weight. The roof of a tomb. What's going on? Why am I back here? Wait, old thing, still alive? I came to see you. Horse howl! The sound emanates from behind the heavy door before her. Also, I'm gonna try one more time for Zuole. If he doesn't come home, oh well, I'll give up. I did not expect to get Shoo twice. Well, I got her my first pool, and then I got her during the 19th pool. So she was nice. But Zuole, he's shy. You've been sleeping for so long, and he's still as pissy as ever. Drop the scary act already. Can you even do anything after lying here all this time? Oh, nothing to be afraid of, right? No fear. Shangshu? Which mountain is this? Why isn't there a single road sign? No, what year is it even? Judging from the houses by the road, this looks like Shangshu before it went nomadic. Why does it look like the city I saw when I first got here? Ding dong! A man hangs from the steep cliff with a rope, engraving a sentence with a hammer and chisel in his hands. Wait, you, up on the mountain, what you doing? You don't know who I am! Why would I? I was the one who designed and created the city. Oh, that's pretty cool. The catastrophe is about to arrive and everyone's already evacuated, but the disaster will destroy all the houses I built. I can't let it happen just like that. The 5th year of Jingyan, when I had first just arrived here, had stayed for 3 decades. Record of Shangshu City. I'm carving how I crafted the city into this cliff so future generations will remember my achievements. But the catastrophe is just around the corner. You're risking your life for this, but what if a thunderbolt cleaves the mountain into two? Wouldn't your hard work be in vain? I couldn't care less. This is the only thing I can do. Why even bother living if no one else will know of my feats? Wow, dude. How do you even live like that? Fine, just keep working. I'll disturb you no more. Wait, where does this mountain path lead? I don't know. It's like he could write a book, but nah, he's being edgy. He has to carve it into the mountain as one do. Like, dang. It's you. Sir, I wish for you to grant me a sword. What for? To save, to avenge. I've told you, my swords don't come cheap. What are you offering? My life. Again. I should have said no already. Do you hate me for giving you that rusty piece of scrap metal? What am I saying? This is just an illusion. But you do remember me. Just thinking about that screenplay draft, I still can't help but wonder if the story would have ended differently had I given you a proper blade then. How can someone so remarkable and knowledgeable show compassion to a nobody like me? A mere mortal life is honestly worthless to you. Hey, don't go that far. I still like you mortals a lot. You look at us as if you're watching a play. Your casual acts can add a little marvel to the show and change the fates of countless people. Sometimes, you'll even be in the mood to join us for a few songs. But in the myriad of plays, you're the only one off stage. You've been alone all along. Jeez, I didn't think I'd get this kind of hallucination. I'm tired. Just take the sword. It's made for proper combat. Let me see if the story ends differently. Sir, a young man asked me to deliver this package to you before the day of Dongzi. Don't have the guts to see me in person. I suppose he's passed on by now. The bag is empty. Well, countries turn to rust. A brief spark in the wind. A bubble gone without a trace. Alrighty. Now to Dusk Side. What's this? Sir, I've been anticipating this for a long time. You've been waiting for me? I'm puzzled by something that I'd like you to clarify. Do elaborate. I went to collect references at the edge of the city today and saw an old foul beast perched by the riverbank. I've never seen a foul beast so beautiful. I was just about to whip out my brush and paper when it flapped its wings and vanished from sight. I tried to paint it from what I could remember, but I could not do it. Just let it go. Some things are beyond your control. That holds true for others, but I still call myself a painter for the time being, so I'll always want to capture it somehow. I painted quite a lot of these past few years. I always thought one had to paint plenty of paintings and see many sights to make life worthwhile. Ooh, hello. But I finally realized that paintings are ultimately inanimate objects. What do you mean? The scenes I paint turn into passing cloud a moment later. The more I paint, the more insignificant I feel my paintings become. That's only natural, no? One can only dream of seeing the entire land if one won't even make it to 100 years of age. No, I think you still don't understand. Sir, I'd like to ask for some thoughts on this undeserving work of mine. Look at all the places. Is this a painting? My painting. This is the view we ignorant mortals see. Even one like you, with all the views you've seen, are only a drop in the ocean when compared to the tumultuous changes this land has experienced over the last millennium. Please, take a good look once more. For we only have this one dusk. Halt brush, wind scroll. As besotted as drunk, one dusk to ash. They're growing well. Did you plan all these? The people here did. As you said, I can't use my abilities to meddle with their growth. I'll disappear one day, but these people will still be here for a long time. You've worked so hard. It's been a while, Shu. How very strange. That brother of mine has been telling me he's seen you in his dreams lately. Why do you keep thinking about me? Are you getting nostalgic with age? You know how to make fun of me, too, now. The people here all remember a Shenong who compiled the 24 Jiechi solar terms, taught them how to till the land, and even risked her life to cultivate a vast expanse of frozen soil into fertile fields. How can I bear that title of my own? We achieved it all together, so why put everything on my shoulders? It's been so long. Is there still a difference between you or me? All I remember is someone taking me in when I was wandering about aimlessly like a child, and giving me a home. She told me I needn't care about the differences between man and beast, that I should just live as a human. I didn't expect you to stay here even now. I promised you I would. To stay and guard this land, so people wouldn't have to go hungry. Oh, Shu. Have you ever resented me? 1,000 years. How can you call this devotion? This is clearly incarceration. Even though your consciousness is gone, you're still trapped here by your ties to this land rather than go free. All because of one mistake I made. I don't resent you for it, only myself, for not going north in your place. Shu, you know I've never seen you as a Xian. The whole time we were together, I almost forgot that you weren't mortal. I only realized when we parted ways, I had my own selfish motives, a human selfishness. I wanted to beg you to stay, to continue helping the people here. All of my kin need you, but I wasn't sure if you would love them as you loved me. I'm afraid I've let you down. So we failed in the end, right? You never found the seeds, and I never managed to grow crops on originium-tainted soil. We couldn't even protect this land. Man can prevail over nature, but when will that happen for real? Shu, do you regret it? You knew that everything I said would come to pass, didn't you? Yes, I always knew. You shouldn't have met me here. You're only a shred of consciousness left in this device, and I'm a memory within. I like the different ways they're immortalizing like their favorite human. Like Shu and Shenong. She's basically letting everyone worship Shenong as a god and even keeping Shenong in her mind palace. Dusk in her favorite person, keeping her alive in the scroll. And then there's Nyan, who just made a movie about him. You're only a shred of consciousness left in this device, and I'm a memory within. I am you. Baily! Yeah! You're still here. I'm always with you. Does that mean that Shenong's also G's favorite person then? Like, oof, brother G, if you also liked her. Like, sorry, but Shu was clearly the favorite. A command to want and rage. In greed for life and fear for death. I nearly forgot why I even created you back then. No place of place amidst high mounts or waters far. No matter to me, free amidst the human realm. I've been muddled-headed for so long that I even lost track of why I'm awake. Whoever said that you had to paint the entire realm to be considered an artist? Just paint a realm, and true it be. The painter brandishes her blade, and mounts rise in succession. I am me, and what I see is all. Wake up. A director can't be sleeping on set, right? That's crazy irresponsible. What's wrong with taking a snooze when you're tired? Which genre are you shooting this time? Mecha Fahrenheit versus Fahrenheit. Oh, isn't that the screenplay I stashed away at the bottom of my drawer? You mean it's that bad? I swear, this year's the last one. Anything can be spun into a good story. That's what legends and strange tales are. I gotta ask, little lava. What makes you so willing to humor me for so long? The legendary weapon you promised. When are you gonna give it to me? Sure enough, you're still after that. Would you miss me if I were to vanish one day without a trace, for good? Nope. If the day comes, no one will remember you. The weapons, tools, cities, and those films that you made will all vanish. You know that. You're right. I shouldn't be seeing you here either. Yeah, you called it. The dumb stuff I waste time on again and again all amounts to nothing in the end. But I can't help it. I just want to have some fun and leave some memories behind. Leave something behind and have fun. That's enough for me. Thanks, Lolava. It was pretty fun making trouble with you at Rhodes Island. Humiliating. I ended up giving myself a lecture with something I crafted with my own hands. Letting people go through these old and irrelevant memories just like that is really something. I want to see Mecha Farinmut versus Farinmut. Well, enough of that. We answered that question when we managed to split off from Chaos. You're just a heart, so stop dreaming about taking us back in. We worked hard to be freed from that pitch-black tomb. We're not about to go back to living under your shadow, old thing. So I'll... 2 bits! Okay, time to sow the cause. Now how bad can this be? Can't be that bad. Maybe. I'm just gonna put it right here. I should have faced the other way. Oops, my bad. Oh, look at them running. Look at him running. Oi. I don't like how they're running like that. Stop doing that, coward. No. Oh well. I'm being a hater now. I'm just gonna go after them. Yeah, I'm being the ultimate hater. Can you just like stop running like that? Oi. Oi, you punks. No. Stop doing that. You're making a mess of my... I was gonna say my field, but not really. Ooh, look at those thingies. Adorable. Chaotic and adorable. I hope Myan Myan's still okay. Have I tried Shu's S3? I'm pretty sure I'm using the 3rd skill for Shu. Well, she's not out right now, but I think that's what I set her to. Meh, you know what? Let's face that way. Because I gotta prepare for those drones. I mean, look at them. That's right, get them. Okay, that's kind of a lot of them. Actually, it's fine. It's not too bad. Okay, just gonna keep going through them. Yeah, this is fine. Or at least fine enough. Look at how good they're doing. So proud of them. Okay. Oh yeah, no worries now. Okay, got him. Phew. There's too many. We can't handle them all. We might not even manage to save the nearby fields. The situation is dire. We should prioritize saving the people. Am I imagining things? They don't seem as fearsome as before. What's that sound? The plate is separating from the core city. As I thought, the vitality of these monsters is bound to Da Huang's energy core. So once we break that connection, they'll grow weaker. Hold on. Has everyone managed to evacuate here? We notified the entire city, but is everyone here? Everyone from residential sections 1 to 4 is here. Sections 9 to 12, all present. Everyone from 6 to 8 is here, but we haven't heard back from the group dispatched to Section 5. What? They were on their way back from the city center when they encountered a patch of farmland under attack. Things were going badly, and that's when we lost contact.
The energy core is broken down, and our communication system went with it. I will look for them. Wait. You always chide me for acting tough, but now you're dashing ahead of us. We don't even know how many monsters are swarming that place, and you plan on charging for it alone? That's my experimental plot. I know it better than anyone else. The residents there usually help me with my farm work. I even lied to them, saying my research was going well lately. It's fine if you want to go, just take me along. I run fast too, I can help. You're not from here. You've got nothing to do with the people here, and you're even a year younger than I am. His Sheng was promoted to an intermediate Nonge Tianchi in the year 1101 at the age of 17. When I was looking through the intel on Da Huang, I checked the Tianchi Bureau's roster and I found you're a year younger than me.
Ooh. So Zhuo Lei is the older one then. He is the big brother. Ha ha. Ha ha ha. I could avoid the drones if I got rid of the mouses. Oh. Oof. Just oof. But yeah, out of the siblings so far, which one I want to make me their fave? Clearly Brother G, just kidding. No. Out of the summonable ones, I'd want Nian because I'm entertained by her movies and food. Hot pot.
So no need to act tough at such a critical juncture, boy. Xiao Lai Ze Tao. Do you normally speak like this back home? I never speak like this. Xinqiu. Enough talk, let's go already.
Just keep running, just keep running. Was the legend a lie? The blurry rice paddies stretch into the horizon. This is a patch of living fertile land. The wind plays ever so, the wave of rice a song. An ascent consciousness is born here, and a voice speaks to her. You're back. You seem exhausted, are you alright? So, you're already awake. Where am I? Have I always been here? Why do I have memories from long ago? I saw so much. War, death, plague, famine. The disaster from above the roof washes over the land, leaving only devastation behind, followed by endless war and upheaval. Civilizations perish, life fills with dread. Why am I trapped in here? Just who am I? I feel so frightened. The outside is frightening. Pain. I can hear the cries of many. How can I put a stop to all this suffering? I remember now. Someone gave me a name. Sui. I am you. The weeds overgrow, drowning the entire land. The longest dark of night condenses into the single moment. Oh, pretty. No, you're just a shadow. My shadow. But it isn't your suffering. It belongs to the people living on this land. No. You fear because you haven't really lived yet. You don't know how this great land truly is. This world isn't frightening at all. But you've never seen crops being harvested or people cheerfully laughing. You've never seen countless creatures vying to survive, enduring hardship, and continuing to thrive. You should take a closer look if you get the chance. I'm no longer an arrogant and lonesome Farinmutt, nor am I a soul adrift on all on my own. I have lived a real life here, together with the infinite variety life on this continent. A drop of dew drips down, injecting life that spans across the time into the land. Sleep. Twilight red sets on the stalks. These earthly strivings kissed by dew. Millennia reap me now, a single tender shoot.
Over here! Help! Ah, stay away! Wah!
Hiss!
Are we saved? Uncle Wang, why are you still here? Are you alright? Shohei, I knew you'd come back. Jianguile, these beasts just appeared out of nowhere and started chewing up all the crops here. But don't worry, we protected the plot well. We didn't let a single beast pass us.
Aww. Aww, he was protecting his Sheng's land. That's adorable.
Uncle Wang. It's alright, he's only fainted from shock.
The whole field is sinking inch by inch, and huge fissures can be seen across the fields in the distance.
The communications equipment's not working at all. The two Mutianchis don't know there's still people here. And they've already begun disconnecting the plate. Let's hurry and move before it's too late. What a deep ravine. Have we been left behind? Pardon me.
The young candle holder carries the farmer on his own and leaps into the air, crossing the gap in just a few steps.
You're amazing.
Zuole goes back and forth between the two separated plates, transporting one by one those left behind to safety on the other side. Good job, Zuole! But the space between the plates continues to expand at a speed visible to the naked eye, and his steps gradually grow heavier, until the last trip, when a gust of wind blows him back up as he almost loses his footing.
Careful now. Many thanks. Everyone's safe now, so hold on to me and I'll bring you over too.
Hiss!
There's more of them? Don't get distracted. You're using your arts too much. No need to worry about me. The students of the Tianchi bureaus aren't as weak as you think.
The duo work together to repel a few monsters, but as they dispatch the beasts, the vertical disparity of both plates escalates before their eyes. The distance of about 15 meters seems an unsurmountable chasm to the two.
Damn it! Are we stuck here? This plate is about to fall, so we best prepare for impact. Find somewhere with soft soil to hide in, and we might... I never noticed till now that Da Huang's plates were built so high. Zule, how many people did we save? Don't worry, I did a head count earlier and everyone who was here has already made it over. Cheer up. We just have to find a way to make it back alive. And this rescue mission will be a complete success. The legends always say as long as everyone stands together, we'll make it through any crisis no matter how dire it gets. Everyone's been taking care of me all these years. I've never managed to pay them back, but today...
Hesheng struggles to finish his words, and Zuole realizes a bright red stain is seeping through from the other's white shirt.
You're hurt? What did you... Oh, I'll stop the bleeding.
Hesheng, when did that happen?
Zuole, let me give you something. Right now? This is my Tianchi apparatus with important data inside. You have to keep it safe, no matter what happens. Alright, I'll take it.
Hesheng ties an originium device tightly to Zuole's hand. He hits the switch, and the little thing rapidly unfolds into a kite.
What are you doing? I was hard on you before, but I've realized you have a good heart, so I can't leave you here.
The youth exerts the last vestiges of his strength, and a gust of wind rises. Zuole flies into the air, carried by the kite before he can even react. The plate below shrinks bit by bit, along with Hesheng's silhouette, but Zuole can make out the shapes of a few remaining monsters in the field, rushing towards the shrinking figure. Hesheng's gonna be fine! He is Shu's apprentice, so he's gonna be fine, totally, and he was our welfare for this event, so he's fine. Yeah!
Menacing howl. I don't know where you came from, but I'm not scared. Huh?
See? No fear. He fine. Oink. Mian Mian, is that you? You wake? Hey, wake up! Wait, you hear that? Seems like he's still breathing. Make way.
Mian Mian?
Concerned nudging.
Stop licking me. I don't have any treats on me.
Hesheng opens his eyes to find himself lying in a field, surrounded by plethora of worried faces. He seems to have returned to a day he does not remember, the first day he came to this land.
Is everyone alright? Everyone was about to look for you when Myeongnon suddenly showed up with you in tow. But why did you? Thank you for saving me. The monsters. Did we beat them? Yes.
The dark clouds scatter. The bloody afterglow fades. Another sunset sprinkles a golden twilight all over the fields.
Is it over? It's over. We won, right? What Chinong did then, we've managed it too. Indeed. Someone's managed to get the energy core under control. We did it. Looking back at it all, isn't this the birth of a new legend?
But we still didn't get to punch Brother G.
Now that things have died down, we should head back. Wait, if my eyes don't deceive me, that's plate A5. The Wanqing experimental plot.
In an overgrown field nearby stands a single rice stalk.
Zule, help me out! Why do you want to go back? It's still dangerous! What is it? It worked. We did it! Wanqing, the 10,000 Qing of fertile fields. All's not lost. There's still hope for us.
The youth happily carries this rice plant, with a slight lunacy to his laughter.
What exactly? You'll probably just say you wouldn't understand even if I told you, right? How does taking you at your word? For these creatures to grow, they must endure calamity. Those that survive will break out of their cocoons. Those that do not will have their lives quietly snuffed out in the darkness. No living being can escape the cycle of destruction and rebirth. What exactly is he planning? The Fernmut's heart?
Look at him just standing there.
We meet again. Your presence here must mean you figured out my plans, Lord Zuo. What are you doing? Weaving, as you can see. Weaving what? Something for sale once it's completed, of course. For sale to whom? It's a standard practice to keep customer information confidential. What's that on the cloth? Seen from across the country, or perhaps, to phrase in your words, the splendor of Yan? I spent many years traveling across of Yan, visiting every city, and Dahuang is my final stop. Only today do I consider this bolt of cloth complete. One should use dyes of appropriate quality for a design this beautiful. Is there any material better than Yan's splendor to dye this weave? My 100 scenic portraits of great Yan.
Countless bolts of silk and satin seem to descend from the heavens. Every bolt a city, every piece of history, a facet of worldly plight. The nation's splendor? No. It should be the hearts of the people. Just look at how brilliant the brocade is. All the colors of their souls I've seen. How could I dislike this mortal realm? Okay, he just made a bunch of pretty tapestries, okay. It'd be a shame if someone were to spill, let's say, coffee on it. Okay, 2 exits and 6 entrances, not bad. Yeah, that's fine. Not too scary. Yeah, this is fine. I'm not gonna change up my setup. This is fine. I'm gonna believe. So this is what heaven looks like to those insignificant souls. For the first time, I walked out of the chaos and void into these vast lands. Where did I come from and where am I going? I still carry memories of that enormous body, and I seem to have some kind of divine power as well as a lifespan that far exceeds those of the masses I see before me. But like a confused child, I followed the people I saw and imitated what they did. After a great length of time, I met 2 teachers.
There's a barren swath of land in the northern reaches of Yan. I'm trying to reclaim and farm the uncultivated fields there with the locals. It's fun to watch crop after crop grow out of the soil. If you don't know where to go, why don't you come give us a hand? What is the place like? It's much colder than the towns here. Plus, those things from beyond the door are a bit dangerous. But you wanted to find out what man is like. It might just be the perfect place for you. You have all the time you need to find your answer. That was when I found out for the first time that there was such a concept as camaraderie between living things, or living beings. Maybe this is why they were able to defeat those enormous beings. How strange. It was hailing furiously last night, but the crops are all fine. Maybe luck is on our side. Maybe heaven saw how hard we worked the fields and decided to have mercy. Gee, this is your doing, isn't it? I simply thought it would be a shame for hell to destroy land. The hard work and effort that everyone put in over the last 6 months. Everything in this world, moves according to its own set of rules. When a season's harvest is ruined, you can bury it to fertilize the soil and help the next year's crops grow even better. You say this field's harvest this season, but how many fields are there like this one in Yan? How many mouths are there to feed at the mercy of heaven? You did this out of the kindness of your heart, but mankind needs to learn to survive in these lands by itself. Will you leave one day too? Of course, but this swath of land will be here forever. Life will exist forever. Everything under heaven has its own position, but we live between heaven and earth like rootless trees, destined to drift about. No cause and no effect, no beginning and no end. Where should we return? Times change. You're a merchant here for grain, you say? There are droughts everywhere this year. I heard the granaries in the north have a surplus, so I'm here to purchase grain to resell where the situation is more dire. Heaven and her rainstorms show no mercy. The farmers have it hard. A famine year is not necessarily a bad thing for farmers, though. You speak nonsense, my good gentleman. How could a famine be a good thing for the farmers? Simple wisdom. The more severe the famine, the more their harvests earn them. Compare 500 caddies at 1 wen per caddy to 100 caddies at 10 wen per caddy. Even a 3-year-old man can calculate which is the better deal, from a seller's perspective. I've lived here ever since I was a child. The only way I know how to use food is to feed the masses and save lives. To think such wisdom existed in the lands outside. You haven't seen what it's like outside Da Huang. Not everyone is a Xian that can see only the abyss, but not the water that fills it. If all one does is guard these plots, how is he or she meant to understand the wisdom under heaven? Young man, my caravan needs someone to help manage our affairs. Might you be interested in coming with us to the lands outside?
Oh, so this is how he becomes a merchant. Alrighty. Okay. But yeah, I think G's just going about this wrong if he wants Shu to have a break. Farming is her passion. Heck, even if she wasn't farming to feed people, she'd probably at least have her own personal garden just for the funsies. So she'll never stop the grind. Or if she got into video games, she'd be playing a bunch of farming sims.
Get me a room. For the old rules, the cargo goes into the warehouse. You pay first and then get your room. You said you want to get into the tea business because of all the tea farms sprouting up around Xiangshu over the last 2 years. How come you bought out these inns instead? How much do you reckon a truckload of Xiangshu greens can earn when transported from here to Baizhou? And how much in tariffs the court will take? If the journey to Baizhou is uneventful, 20% profit would be a fairly good return to me. Now how much do you reckon I can make here with all the tea merchants coming and going, even the ones unwilling to pay their taxes? When you put it that way, certainly you are in a more lucrative business. But I also noticed that you withheld some of the cargo for the mandarins. Now that is my other line of business. The people working in the government need something to show too. Are you not afraid of the mandarins looking for trouble or the tea merchants turning against you? That wouldn't be a very good bargain to them. Without me, the tea merchants would have to pay their fair share of taxes or take the risk to find another route. Without me, the government would have to spend a hefty sum to get their hands on tips about the smugglers. Or say, the merchants ended up revolting. How much would it cost to quell this revolt? A win for all three parties, indeed. An unusually lucrative line of business. We've been in Changshu for long enough. I'm starting to grow tired of the cuisine here. Let's hand the business off and head east. East? What kind of business awaits us there? Mining? Green transport? Whatever earns us money, that's what we'll do. This time. I mainly want to go home to have a look around. You asked me before if there exists a wisdom that stands true everywhere. All under heaven live for profit and die for profit. Be it law and morality, faith and honor. There is nothing under heaven that cannot be accounted for in a ledger. Thank you for that.
I like this merchant dude. He's just playing everyone. Hello, hello. That is indeed what I saw. I'm starting to understand.
My dear sister, I've settled an account. All these years, each of us has lived lives across the Yana and recorded our own gains and losses on our respective ledgers. Dage found his own path, but he found himself an outlier in the mortal realm, a place in which he cannot love, hate, or even let go of. A loss. Ling has lived a carefree life. This realm cannot bind her. She finds her own joy, a profit. And our younger sisters, not necessarily incisive, but they have little that troubles them. They're breaking even. As for Erge, our second eldest brother, well, Ji is dead, no matter how you slice it, a tremendous loss. Our family has been under the Jannie's thumb for over a millennium. I truly cannot see how we are gaining anything from this transaction. Most important is you, my dear sister. Has the question of profit ever really crossed your mind?
G, brother G, she's in a non-profit organization. She just wants to farm. And her farming is non-profit, dude.
A substitute? Yes. I place my bet on a conclusion, for revenge and for us. How is it even possible? 1/12 is no match for the whole. What are your chances? How confident are you? I've worked this out for a long time. There are 19 lines on a Weiqi board, both horizontal and vertical. All the moves one could make have already been calculated. The white player is compensated 7.5 points, giving black less than half a winning chance. Truly, a most difficult task on my own, which is why I need your help. If I were to tell you there remains a shred of hope, and that this is the one and only way, would you be willing to put your wealth and life on the line? You catch up fast. Perhaps it's time to give an explanation for your actions. What form of explanation would you like, Lord Zuo? You roused demons to lay harm to the citizenry, seized the countless fortifications, and even plotted against the other proxies. Given your actions, your crimes are far worse than Wang's. I may have some objectives to your charges, but what would you like to do here? Hand over the cloth and return to the capital under the Sui regulator's supervision. And what will I get in return? A chance at a fair trial. A shame that is not the price I'm willing to pay. You would make an enemy of Yan? If I would, what could you possibly do?
Zule takes a step forward and unsheaths his blade.
Is it really so much fun to pick on mortals? It's you? Not bad, kid.
You managed to tell him all the way here. Gotta hand it to you. But this is a family matter. You Sui regulator folks will have to give us some personal space. Well, everyone's gonna bonk G.
You escaped the heart. You're moving faster than I anticipated. Seems my little sisters have grown up.
Don't talk like we're all getting along.
What do you think this is, a test? And here I thought you were actually trying to off us. Don't be ridiculous. So you've been laying low all these years to weave this cloth. Making clothes out of Jan's splendor, not bad. He needs this before he goes to see it. Having traveled all around Jan, I thought it a shame when I finally decided to weave Da Huang into it. So you two are in on this together. And he's finished preparing already? I should have figured. You get along with the Wei Chi, failure the best. Don't act like you don't know what taking your cloth out of this place means. This is a straight-up declaration of war against Jan. And you're Sange, my third brother. And truth be told, out of all my older siblings, you're one of the ones I like best. I always feel like the two of us crank out some pretty sick ideas. Remember how I helped you sell fakes of Dusk's paintings at one time? Wow! You what? But I'm sorry, this is way overdoing it, even for me. A shame. From the looks of it, you're not on my side either, Dusk. In your dreams. It's been a few centuries since we've had a family reunion with more than 3 of us. To think that the first thing we'd be doing is fighting among ourselves, just like all those years ago. What's the deal? Reminiscing on old times? If we can talk this out peacefully, I would rather us not come to blows. How could I possibly raise a hand against my little sisters? Drop the big talk already. It's 2 against 1. The odds are stacked against you. Well, we'll just have to see how it all turns out then. This time, not even the army of that great wild hunt years ago could stop me.
Well, time to bonk him. Yay, I get my wish. Time to reap the consequence. How bad can this be? Slumbering of Suli. No fear, this is fine. How bad can one sleepy boy be? Yeah, I'm gonna be edgy and go against the sleepy boy. Oh, of course it's gonna be those floaty dudes. Oof. Okay, right over here. Shoot, keep him safe. This is fine. So far, so good. I think. Oh no, I gotta bring out a healer. Oh, the thing hits pretty hard. Go get him. Go bonk that punk. You know what, let's just go after him some more. Because why not? This be fine. I am gonna have to bring out another healer soon. But that's for later. Or actually, I could do that right now. Yeah, that's fine so far. Maybe I can edge and not bring out another healer. JK, I should. I really should bring out another healer. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be good. There. See, look at me being good. I like that form. That's pretty. That thread monster beastie. That's cute. Okay, not too bad so far. You know, I might as well use that. Go, Susie, help me. I did it, yay. Whoever thought it'd snow like this? The field's ridges have been covered with a thick layer of despair-inducing white. The bits of yellow dotting it are the heads of grain that were laboriously planted only a month prior. How many plants would still be alive after 10 days? One dares not think. A must-be stumbles around, barging into the silent field of wheat. Even the sparse crops in front of it are an unexpected joy. It sniffs around carefully, calculating how much it needs to tide it over and how much will be left to take back to the cave to feed its kin. Until a thick metal hoe crashes down on its spine. Well, that escalated quickly. 3 more heads of wheat are gone. The angry farmer snatches the beast that has been ruining the crops, so angry that he wants to skin it to make a meal. However, the carcass is so emaciated that it hardly weighs more than a few taels. With a long sigh, the farmer digs a hole in the ground and buries the beast's body. Poor thing. Hardship strikes us all. Such occurrences are common. If the wheat dies in this freeze, how many people will perish next year? A great many. But there will also be many who come to their aid, and a lot of them will survive. For Gia... I feel like Gia's like that one sibling that's just playing that one board game. Probably just chilling in a realm, an inner realm. Life itself will not cease. The firmament is as a veil. The ethereal satin silk seems to be infinitely weighty, firmly separating the two combatants and pressing towards them.
Neon, let's wrap it up. It took a considerable amount of effort to build this heart for you. It would be a terrible shame to see it torn apart in this conflict. You aren't in a position to be making small talk yourself. I nearly took your head off with that firecracker blast just now. Where all that destructive might of yours go, why don't you make a massive pair of scissors and cut this little fabrications to bits? You put some effort into it too. He's about to turn your painting into papercraft. Oh, it's my fault now? Cut me some slack here. He just turned that big old firecracker I built into a pile of threads. Has he always been able to do stuff like that? I should have brought Neon out to fight too. Actually, no, I should have brought all the siblings out. Ah well. Didn't think he'd ever have the will to work on his powers over the years. But the question is, why does he seem to have such good grasp on what our powers are? Hold on, is it really just one guy we're up against? Time's almost up. I truly would like to stick around and chat more, as rare as our reunions are. However, the unfortunate reality is that I'm short on time and must bid you farewell. I really wish I didn't have to use this. The next time we meet, I will have to make amends. If we meet again, that is.
Brother G, where you going, you coward?
To think you strike down your own sister, what a disgrace. Shu, I didn't think you'd just go and disappear altogether, but are you alright? I sincerely hope you weren't just trying to scare us on purpose. Think of it as a much-needed rest. Sorry for worrying you. And here I was wanting to see my little brother again. Lo and behold, the scene I come back to. Does he really not see this place as home anymore? My dear sister, I know that look. That's the look in your face whenever you're done something wrong. How long has it been? 67 years. Then you'll have to stay for dinner. If you have anything to say, you can say it at the table. I'm sorry, my dear sister. I can't listen to you this time. So you're taking orders from someone else now, huh? The one who's been behind the curtain this whole time. How much longer does he plan to stay hidden? Whatever it is, wouldn't it be better to tell me face to face?
So Azule is still here, just watching this sibling reunion, sibling squabble, as one do. A man slowly walks forth in the distance, sauntering past the threshold of time immemorial. It is as if he had been there since the very beginning. Time and space halt with the sound of his footsteps.
You finally decided to show yourself. There's a whole crowd. What a lively gathering. You all are still inclined to such excitement. Wait, didn't he go insane? The atmosphere of our little reunion isn't quite what I expected. What happens in the movies when a relative on the most wanted list suddenly shows up at your doorstep? Is he actually the real deal or just a shadow? Any shenanigans the Weichi failure tried to pull wouldn't surprise me at this point. It'd be a big deal if he pulled another Sui Xiang out of his ass though. So, what's the plan, Shu? Are we fighting? Xiangshu, Yuman, now here. Don't you think you've gone too far? Small sacrifices for the greater good. Each into their own, nothing more, nothing less. Look at all the devastated fields out there, and all the suffering people. I can't forgive you for talking like that. Upon careful consideration, there still remain 2 lines of inquiry regarding who owes us debt. Then you stay here so we can tally it up. This account has been accumulating debt for over 1,000 years. You haven't been here in a long time. There are things I must do. There's a battlefield to the north. When the troops assemble, I must stand on the front lines. Bleached bones exposed to the wilds, where fowls sing not for 1,000 li. After 1,000 years of war, in the end, it is still the commoners in the fields who suffer. You care about them a great deal. The people you take so lightly are actually our teachers in the truest sense. We take after their form, find things that interest us, and only then do we find our place in the world. We have nothing in common with them, not a single thing. What is so different about us? Fernwoods may have lives spanning tens of thousands of years, while mayflies die as quickly as they live. But in the end, we're all lives born under heaven. Everything is a beginning, must also have an end. What am I making of Brother Wang? He kind of reminds me of Mute Uncle. But I guess more... How do you describe it? Messy? Messy's not really quite the word, but more bedheady. Warfare and slaughter. Why exactly did you choose this path? What value do you see in it? Law and order. I recently learned a game, Wei Qi. The rules are simple, but the underlying principles are quite similar to the art of war. It has demonstrated to me a singular wisdom, as chaotic and disorderly as things may appear. Master the rules, and the final outcome will fall into place. The final outcome that we've all been so keenly focused on. This dead silence. This is the outcome that you see. Ah yes, neat uncle. Neat gamer uncles. Honestly, that's goals. Not just for us, but for all things living in these lands. How ironic. If death is the effect, then does that not make life itself the cause? Do you never get tired of standing watch here? Everything in existence is worthy of being cherished, just as it is now. All things have their time. People, beasts, mountains, water, grass, trees. They're all alike in this regard. That is the Tao the people speak of. The grass becomes lush and green every spring. We have come, and we have existed. Is that not enough? So you resign yourself to this end. That's not what you really think. I was simply wondering, have we ever lived as our true selves? Wait, don't tell me you... I've been contemplating this for a long time, calculating. Finally, I've seen another outcome. Not far away, a green sapling pokes its head out of underneath the snow. I know you can see it, Shu. The haggard man stretches out his hand, his fingertips still covered with rough calluses. Can you read my palm for me? Endless solitude. Kalpas blurred, death nigh inexorable. I'm very much looking forward to that. I shall be waiting. It's like, oh yes, I'm very much looking forward to endless solitude. That's the best part. Shoo, read my palm, please. Were you able to see her again?
You know that wouldn't be possible. I often find myself thinking of her. She said that education is the great equalizer, and wished for every person to be able to read and write. All those schools and books are her legacy.
In that regard, you are quite similar. But these last few years, I've forgotten many things, including her. About the book she wrote and the meaning they held by a true name in one lone word. I can clearly recall that she once played a game with me. She wanted to tell me something during that game, but I've already forgotten what it was.
I thought,
yes, even we cannot escape this influence.
You have regrets.
I want to find a remedy.
181 fragments. Everyone thought you had lost your mind.
Perhaps.
What do you intend to do?
I wish to return to that husk. I require its power. I will slay it, and then I shall become it.
Ah, yes, as one do. You gotta defeat your enemies and absorb their power. Uh-huh. What an edgelord. At the same time, I understand that. That's how I feel about enemies in games too. It's like, haha, I've destroyed you and now I'm gonna take your stuff. Oh yes, I gained your powers. I gained your equipment. Teehee.
And using its power, I will plot a great windfall for all beings in this realm.
It'll cost you your life.
But the rest of you will live and truly be yourselves. Shu, lend me a portion of your power. The 12 of us, which with each additional portion of strength, comes from another chance at victory.
The vast farmland crisscrosses, and this particular visitor places a piece to the Weichi board. Shu opens her palm, and a handful of seeds falls onto the board.
This must be your answer.
You reap what you sow. If you haven't veered off the path and really are heading towards our end, then these seeds will germinate at the right time and bear the fruit you desire.
You have conditions for me as well.
We can't let you keep creating problems for us.
Ha! And so concludes the discussions concerning my affairs. If there's anything else, you should speak.
You've really grown up, huh? Ready to fly the nest?
I'm 1,000 years old, my dear sister.
I can't stop you.
We had a big argument the last time I left. Could you leave me something to remember you by this time?
You've already woven all of Dahuang into that brocade of yours. What else do you want to take from me? If you have a bit of remorse in there, you better come back alive.
Fair enough. Dusk, can I ask one last thing from you?
What?
That painting. Can you give it to me up front?
How did you? Toss.
I will take good care of it. And with that, consider our account settled.
Who said you could go?
You again.
Girl, how'd you get in here? The second sweet brother. Nia Tingde. I knew you were behind this. Do you have nothing better to do? You're done hiding in your ruined temple playing your shitty game of Weichi. And now you have to come to my turf to ruin everything. Look at the mess you've all made with your little spat here. And all the crops you destroyed. See if I won't beat your ass right here, right and now.
Watch out.
The satin silk ignites upon contact with the incandescent white flames, reduces smoke and ash in the blink of an eye. Originium arts like in reversed decomposition? We need to learn how to... No, that's not it. This is causality? Ha! Let's see how many more seeds you have left to withstand my flames.
Tianchi, this might not be the best time for to launch your attack. The Chamber of Heaven's designs has suffered grave losses. Any more wrong moves and the Great Yan's entire northern defensive line may be imperiled. It is more than just a demonic taint that has eyes on Yan's northern border, right?
Stop trying to scare people. I swear, I'm gonna teach you a lesson if it's the last thing I do.
Then, do you not care at all about the other long-lived among you?
You little.
Ah, you feign lunacy to protect your mind from demonic contamination, but you've not forgotten your true purpose at all. Weigh the pros and cons, surely. There's no reason we shouldn't be able to come to some accord. Until we meet again.
Is it over? Yes, it's all over now. You're willing to throw away your life for this project. Why?
To become renowned for such grand achievement.
And then what?
I have a dream. Cities interconnected for 10,000 li, stretching to a place of heaven. No longer would anyone across the land, the great land, want for shelter from wind and rain. What is the point of being a Tianchi without any accomplishments to his name? Must he stand head and shoulders above the rest in order to lay the bricks of the city of your dreams? Are you one of the heavenly Xians? I'll trade your life for your dream. Shallow breathing. The skybound white jade capital of 12 pagodas in 5 cities. The Xian strokes my head, knots my hair, and grants eternal life.
The skybound white jade capital of 12 pagodas and 5 cities. Alas, could I get mansions of 10,000 chambers, I'd shelter all the needy under heaven, blessing them with joy. You're awake?
Where am I?
Don't worry, the monsters are gone.
You saved me?
I wouldn't say that. You were lying unconscious on the ground when I found you, so I went over to try to wake you up.
Duoxie.
You're the old Xiangzang of Dahuang, but the responsibility does not fall solely on your shoulders. It might not necessarily be a good deal to exchange your life for the safety and stability of the place.
That's not my choice to make. What matters is that Dahuang is safe.
You care a lot about this place.
Of course I care. I spent most of my life here, and my roots run deep.
Take care of yourself. I'm off.
Goodbye, Shu. You deserve your freedom. The incubator, the incubator. The rice plant can still be saved. There's still hope for the experiment.
Here you are.
I found it!
Found what?
This is the one rice plant. The one that survived the Wanqing Project's experimental plot. It isn't impossible to grow crops in orogenium-contaminated soil. Lao Shi's experiments proved it. Wait. You're... Judging from your clothes, are you Xiaoye Tianqi from the Bureau? I don't think I've seen you before.
Hisheng, remember her! Come on! New doctor, more experienced. Well, I will consider myself more experienced, I guess. Yes, I haven't been here very long. The young man scratches his head in conclusion, as if he's forgotten something. It is as if he has dreamed a long dream, and the emotions from it still vaguely linger in his heart. He just can't remember the people he met or the things he encountered. After spacing out for a spell, the young man cracks a smile.
I'm an apprentice of the Tianqi Bureau, called Hisheng. I guess I ought to call you Lao Shi now too.
Hello, Hisheng.
I just discovered a very important crop, one that can grow in soil contaminated by orogenium. This has been a long-term project. As long as this crop can be widely distributed, we'll be able to reclaim tons of wasteland into usable farmland, and nobody will go hungry ever again. It might take a while to reach that goal, maybe even a really long time, but at least there's a glimmer of hope now.
In that case, are you willing to devote the rest of your life to that goal?
Yeah.
I wish you luck. Do your best. I won't keep you from your research any longer. Zaigin.
Huh? You're leaving already? I was hoping to tell you a bit more about the project and maybe get a few pointers.
That's alright. I trust that you'll be able to accomplish your goals. Zaigin.
That teacher. Why does it seem like I've seen her somewhere before?
Why do you have to lose memories of Shu?
off to deliver the goods. Laobo. How are food prices this year? Famine year. Each caddy of grain is 3 yen more expensive than last year. I suppose when everything's accounted for, your coin sack's a bit heavier than it was last year. That's not necessarily a good thing. Farming is all about putting food on people's tables. Never heard of farming to get rich. Let me teach you a method to make a little extra money. Just keep it in the back of your mind when you're selling your goods. Sell your highest quality crops locally at a normal price to increase your reputation. For your average quality stuff, mark up the price and hire a caravan to ship it far away as a novelty product. What are you going on about? Never anything so silly. The best crops are for family and friends first. You sell the average quality stuff and then use the rest as feed. You youngsters have way too many sly tricks.
I like that, farmer. Where are you planning to go?
Baizhou.
After making that much trouble, you just up and leave without saying anything?
It is time to leave. Though I also don't have Daga's martial skill. If you won't let me go, then naturally, I won't be able to leave. So it depends on you. How unwilling are you to let me leave?
I just want to ask you a question. You said you were gonna make a deal with Yan. Were you planning to help build Da Huang up from the very beginning?
I'm a merchant, and when doing business, I value mutual profit and reciprocity. If only one side profits, how would I be any different from a robber?
If you didn't want to make an enemy out of all of Yan, why did you need to do all this? Did you two brothers really have to pick a fight with Yan?
Our sister was killed after all. That said, the people of Yan harbor no animus towards us. Even if Urge sees the world as nothing more than a weichi board, a weichi player naturally feels some sentiment towards the pieces of equipment he's used for a long time. However, those sitting in the court, lurking in the shadows, must pay the price for what they've done. This account must be settled eventually,
even if your own life is on the line.
Using a 12 to combat the whole was already a fool's errand. My life has already been assigned a price upon the ledger.
You really have lost it.
I still remember a long time ago, you came to visit all of us, one by one, posing a question to each and pointing the way. What do you see in the lands of Great Yan? My answer has never changed, and I imagine the same is true for Urge.
Wupe. Never cared for either of you bastards at the very beginning. There's no talking wisdom with you. And when the time is right, I'm still coming to beat your asses.
My brother used to have quite the temper. Whenever he'd lose a game, he'd start throwing cups and bowls around. But weak as he was, there was never any strength behind it. This time, he went a bit overboard, so thank you for stepping in.
Gunkai, get out of here already.
Until we meet again.
I'm just imagining that rage quitting like... the most gentle table flip ever. So now, brave wind and rain. The wind and rain are cold. It is dark at the top. The game draws to a close. I would like some cold wind and rain, please. It's hot. My fan is barely helping me. Phew.
And you had to take me up Mount Tien. I'll take the spot under the sunshine. You sit over there. You're in much better health than I am. The least you could do is offer me the spot.
I didn't expect it to end with the old man.
Coming out here for a stroll, some sunlight, and the water from the springs of Mount Tien will do your health much good. Ridiculous. It's been decades since we were so much as run to another outside the palace walls, and you still invited me on this trip. You were the first to grow tired of sitting around. It's not easy to sit still for so long. Yumin, Da Huang, we need an explanation for this string of events. Right, I am behind all of it. I abetted the Yumin Shanhaizong and I let Ya in. Is this enough to drag me down? If you want more, here. I let Wang escape the capital. I sent the girl to Victoria and instigated the demonic calamity. If you must open another vacancy in the court, you can pin this all on me. The Shanhaizong are a bunch of thugs. How could they possibly amount to anything? Yao was merely a sickly beast. It only took a few dozen to 100 tianjis to deal with. It was just as perfect as a meal served to awaken the sui. But certainly nothing to write home about. Phew. In the end, I'm a sickly old man too. This is the only use my life has left. You've never been troubled by things going out of hand. No, you're never troubled by anything. There is much that troubles me. I'm afraid of the unpredictable, sinister human mind. I'm troubled by the trends I see.
And clearly he's troubled by this walk. He's like, I don't want to walk anymore, please. Please, just take my position already. Stop making me walk. I want to sit. I'm cold. My feet hurt.
Going with the tide, one man pulling at each end. It's all for balance. But now the convict has toppled the Weiqi board. Is it still possible to sue for peace? Human repairs are complete, and it's on its way to the capital. Great Grand Tutor, please make up your mind. A letter of reinstatement? I shouldn't have been the one to deliver this. The Imperial Court is already aware of the Dahuang affair and the acts of the two perpetrators. Right now, the Sui Regulator, the Tianqi Bureaus, the 6 ministries, all of them are in frantic mess. I happened to be passing by Dahuang on business, so I lent them a hand. It was Mother who asked you to come, am I correct? Duoxie. Seems the court has come to a conclusion regarding the crisis instigated by the proxies. Yes. Yumin's repairs are complete, and it has started sailing towards the capital once more. In the end, it comes to this. You're rather calm. I thought you'd be yapping about how much you want to head back to the front lines. Lately, I've been trying to comprehend a certain wisdom. It is because we fear that we are anxious. The more we are afraid of facing an unknown enemy, the stronger our urge to charge toward it, all for the sake of giving ourselves an explanation. But I'm not afraid anymore. The proxies may have the ability to bend heaven and earth, but in the end, they too have human emotion. In that sense, they are not different at all. Our opponents are not untouchable, and so, there is nothing to be afraid of.
Except you're too scared to come to my Rhodes Island, Zuole. Let me summon you, boy. I got all them sweet siblings there. You want to keep an eye on them, right, Zuole? Ooh, hello, hello.
Lord Zuo, I have no intention of becoming your enemy. However, I do hope you take what I said to heart. The days ahead of us are long, and there shall come a time when we meet again. Not bad. Seems General Zuo didn't send you here for nothing. I am ready for deployment. Where should I go? Yumin? By Zhao? Don't be so hasty. We'll have you get back to your old role. There's a place that comes into contact with proxies quite frequently. The court isn't completely oblivious to them, but per protocol, the Sui Regulator should launch an investigation. Rhodes Island?
Yeah! Yeah, Rhodes Island, Zuole. You should come here. That's right, you're gonna be stationed here soon enough, boy. So you're leaving?
That's right. These seeds, some of them sprouted, and their originium resistance is much higher than anticipated. It is time to take them to the fields outside for further cultivation.
Wouldn't that be tough?
It's no different from what I do in Dahuang.
When are you coming back then?
First, I need to take the seeds to the grain cultivation bases all across the country and produce the first test crops. Then, based on how they adapt to different soils, develop a suitable cultivation method. It might take more than 10 generations to get accurate results. It might be a while.
1 generation takes a year. 10 years. That's really long. That's long enough for Myeongman to get as big as his parents. Maybe it's not actually that long. After we switched to the new feed, the stock beasts all started to grow really quickly. It's like they double in size every day. But 10 years, that means waiting for the Wanghuaguo trees to grow those sour fruits 10 times. And when I think about it that way, that kind of feels like an eternity. Aww. Huh, let me see you off. Enveloped by the sound of flute, the two are trailed by the setting sun. On the muddy road, there are two sets of footprints leading to the distance. Cute. Jiangnan. Dage once told me that he wanted to travel to Jiangnan after leaving his post. It has been centuries since he last had a taste of Jiangnan's summertime water chestnuts. Aw, now I want chestnuts. Well, water chestnuts are okay. I like the crunch, but regular chestnuts are just plain roasted chestnuts. Yum. And since he had gotten so used to the sight of the yellow sands, perhaps he should enjoy some rest in a quaint riverside town. Careful though, don't break this painting. Ling was never able to forget the desert. She doesn't actually like war, she simply likes how valiant warriors look on the battlefield. Who wouldn't? The flames of war do not burn in the painting. There is only a column of smoke rising into the vast desert. As the sun sets on the endless river, enjoy your drink in peace there, and be the poet you want to be. Nian loves lively places, but a place like Shangshu is a better fit for her than Lungmen. You stay there and don't bother me again. Erge, I should have painted him a Weichi board, and nothing more. Calculating emotions and terrible aesthetic sensibilities, this garden is yours. I don't ever want to ever see your face again. In the end, you didn't give yourself a way out. What a sassy account of the siblings. Yeah, if it wasn't for your constant nagging and you playing the older sister card the whole time, I really would have asked you to teach me calligraphy. This'll do. Despite all the effort I put into it, who knows if these paintings will remain when everyone wakes from their dreams? Does it really matter either way? When you've visited a place and it's seen all its sights, everything is but a pipe dream. What more fun is there? With all of you here, I'm not lonely. The painter sets her brush down and withdraws. The sky is as clear as a blank scroll. A flock of foul bees flies past.
How does it fit? This is the only cloth I have. If you rip it up, I couldn't get you another. It fits perfectly. Perhaps it's a bit too late for me to ask, but how do you think your chances are? A life and death struggle. This game will be decided by a mere half point.
Look at him getting all dressed up for the big battle as one do. He's like, I have to get extra fancy.
Gee, make me a battle uniform. From the sound of it, you could easily lose everything, and you're beyond the point of no return. When will you make your move? Everything is ready. All we need.
I will come to see you soon. When you open your eyes and see the pattern of this robe, will you remember how you felt back then? 1,000 years ago, that fear deep inside our souls, the disgrace etched into our bones. You'd best remember. I will come see you very soon. And I will punch you. Yes. Or summon you, depending.
Shoo, our fields have yielded nothing for a few years. Can we really still grow crops here? We can still plant food if we use the right methods.
But of course, each field has a different plant suited to it. You need to use the most appropriate method to improve the soil. Plant these seeds here. You'll see the results by autumn.
From where are you from, Shu? You look pretty young, but you know so much about the fields. Are you maybe a Tianchi from the bureaus? What exactly is a Tianchi anyway?
They're people who study specialized knowledge and pass it on to others.
That's something. Please keep working, by all means. I'll go get you a glass of water.
Delicious water. Malalush the 7th month, and the 9th bid weaving winter clothes. Here comes spring to bring the sun and warbling of Orioles. 9. Was time to lay the garden out, and 10. To reap the joy of harvest gains, plant your millets last year and, with hemp and beans and all the grains.
Mellow Lush, the 7th month. The 9th bid, weaving winter clothes. Winter comes early in Dahuang. We need to ready ourselves for some proper clothes soon. My dear sister, should I make you a new set of clothes?
I wouldn't need it.
I've developed a new weaving method, which yields satins that are light, durable, and colorful.
Can I have? G, please. I'll forgive you.
I have a new design thought out, and I'm certain it will look perfect on you.
Whatever floats your boat.
Shu, is this how man lives? It does seem rather pleasant.
Yes. You truly live now.
My good gentleman, I know by heart in the wisdom of commerce that you taught me, but there remains one thing I do not understand. All things under heaven are fleeting and indistinct. How should I appraise them? Ha ha! Take a look. How much is the jade pendant I'm wearing worth? I know this pendant. It is very common, worth at most 2 taels of silver. But this pendant was left to me by my mother. I've been carrying it around for as long as I can remember. To me, it is priceless. In the end, appraisal means appraising the human heart. I shall remember. It is almost summer, just the season for Jiangnan lychees. The climate is dry up north. The lychees there are hardly sweet and simply don't compare to the lychees back home. I thought I would go back home and open a trade route for selling the southern lychees up north, only for there to be a river standing in my way, stopping me from ever going back. It's a shame that this rain came at a terrible time. It'll be summer in 2 days. Once your body warms up, we will hire a boat to cross the river. Forget it. I know in my heart that this is the end of the road. Why must man always go against heaven? How old are you this year? Ages are not very meaningful to my kind. But if we must, I'll be exactly 50. Come, Xiaoshu. I can tell you are not quite the same as mere mortals. I envy your long life, still. Now that I consider it, such a long life would be full of hardship. No matter what you are, I'm 83. You have followed me for so long. It certainly wouldn't be a bad deal for you if I called you my adopted son.
Aw, that's cute. Elderly merchant's like, you know what? You're like a son to me.
Indeed. I was fortunate to have met you and seen the boundless sights that these lands have to offer. Fate brought us together. I have nothing much to give you. Aside from that worthless business, the one mantra is all I have. All under heaven live for profit and die for profit. I've been reciting this mantra from the day I began studying business, and it helped me triumph over many rivals. But if everything under heaven could really be summed up with just a word of profit, this might just be a rather boring place. I don't have much time left, and I can't walk much farther. If you truly have a long life ahead of you, then go and see for me. Walk this great land, and go see for me whether there really is some kind of great windfall that profits all under heaven. If you truly do find it, I will remember. I will go and see.
And the merchant just goes out like that. Last words. Go out, my boy. You are like a son to me. Now go. Come on, dude. You're like 80-something years young. That is not that old. Now time to go to Shu's record. But yeah, 80-something's not that old. He's still young. He's spry. Like, if that's considered old, some of my family members are ancient. How's the event? Overall, it was nice. Still salty about G doing a thing there, trolling. Like, come on, brother G. You really had to do that to get Shu to take a little break. I am curious about brother Wang, and I want to see more of Mute Uncle. Like, he was fun. He was entertaining. Now let's see how this goes. Ask what I seek. How come she just stays there? What is it she's looking for? She's just standing there and staring menacingly. Ooh, hello, hello. Darkness and tapping. Who are you? Where did you come from? You came from nowhere, have no kin, and don't even know who you are. Could it be that you're Xian, like in the stories?
Maybe.
Jingze, when insects wake. The weather finally clears up after a few days of early spring rain. A square platform sits in the center of the public square. It resembles both a stage and altar with a statue silently standing on top. It is a sculpture of a simply dressed woman with the facial features hard to perceive, but one can easily tell where her gaze is looking. A boy carefully offers a verdant seedling to the statue with a deferential bow.
Shenong, bless us. Everything has to go smoothly this year. Laoshi?
I was looking for you in the soil samples I asked for. What are you doing here? The boy turned sideways, trying to obstruct his offering from the other's view.
We'll be transplanting the seedlings in 2 days, and this year is the first I'm taking charge of an experimental field. I'm really worried that something might go wrong, or I'll do a bad job. I've heard from my Chanbeis that the bureau they always come here to pay their respects in moments like these. I'm pretty new, so maybe Shenong would be kinder to me.
What have those elders been teaching you youths? Will you stop farming if something does happen? The mute statue is covered in mud from the past few days of wind and rain, as if it had just returned from a day of work in the fields. The woman steps forward and gently wipes the mud off the statue. Shenong spent her whole life diligently working the fields, but ended up worshipped as a Xian Bayulat, expecting her to solve your problems. They only come to visit her when they have problems they can't solve, or obstacles they can't overcome.
Was Shenong a real person?
Why do you ask?
She came up with a calendar system and figured out 24 solar terms. 1,000 years ago, she even managed to cultivate such a wide expanse of farmland in a place so perilous. I honestly can't imagine that being the work of a single woman.
It doesn't matter if you believe it or not. The changes in the seasons and the soil beneath our feet are real and true. Someone must have done these things in the first place, for stories to be passed down about them.
What kind of woman was she to achieve such feats?
Her, huh? Just an inconsiderate fool, that's all. It's like they always go to her asking for help. It's never, how are you, Shenong? How you doing, girl?
What does this continent look like from above?
What?
You told me your body was once taller than a mountain, and the clouds floating in the sky did not clear your shoulders. Did not even clear your shoulders. What was the view like up there?
The endless stretch of mountains you see are undulating slopes of earth to me. What you take for towering trees are more or less the seedlings growing by the roadside here. Dead mountains and still water for a myriad years.
So you couldn't see the flowers and trees clearly, nor make out the cries of the foul beasts? That sounds like a lonely life.
You don't fear me? Why would I? You don't look like a monster, you look like us. But we're not the same at all. My lifespan is thousands of times longer than yours, and I could easily reduce you to dust, were you to anger me.
You dare laugh? I've heard tall tales like that before. The Xians in these stories always descend to the mortal realm on account of boredom and loneliness. Why turn yourself into a mortal and come to our realm otherwise? Sure, turn me into dust, but then who are you gonna talk to? I'm not... Why the violent threats when you've got such power? If I had a body as big as you did, I'd let people plant crops of all kinds on me. Hey, how about that? Can you make plants grow better too? That'd be easy. I'll even prove it right now. See? The girl gently waves her hand, and in the next instant, a green sorghum seedling in the ground ripens, bearing a bountiful harvest of grain. I could turn this entire snowfield into farmland if I wanted to. The farmer's eyes grow wide, and she does not speak for quite a while. Does it tire you out doing that? It doesn't take much effort, much less than your slow farming techniques. Then, what do you want from us in return? What could I even want from you lot? I just did that on a whim since I'm in a good mood. Then, no, it's better if you don't do it again. I can't only think about now, you helped us today, but what if your mood turns sour? You might just leave us. If we were to depend on you, then wouldn't the crops here vanish once you left? We'd have forgotten how to grow our own food and we'd end up hungry. So it's best to work hard on our own to cultivate the land, and we'll free ourselves from those anxieties too. I've met many others who witnessed a shred of my power and immediately started begging me to grant them more. But you, how much land could you cultivate even if you were to till the fields until you died? However much I can. I just have to try my best. I'm sure someone will continue what I started after I'm gone. That doesn't make sense though. You said you can't only think about now, but you changed your tune to I just have to try my best? Makes sense to me. We mortals can't turn our wishes into wishes real like the Xian can. We push ourselves and live with some aspirations unrealized. That's normal, and it keeps us grounded. Keeps you grounded? Here. What's this about? I can't learn your supernatural farming techniques, but I can teach you how we mortals do it. It's a bit slow, but it works. Learn how we farm, and you might just understand how us mortals think and feel too. She's so nice to bratty Shu. It's like, why would you guys do it that way when I can do it like this? Yeah, see? Easy. Is it tough being human? Of course. Just look at the frostbite on my hands. I'm still young, but my back already aches on rainy days. I could take you somewhere else, a place with picturesque views and spring-like weather all year round. You wouldn't have to labor like this, and there's so much food over there you couldn't finish it at all, even if you were to live 10 times as long. I knew it. You're afraid to be alone. You just want some company, right? I like how Shu's trying to risk her up now. It's like, hey girl, you want to see some pretty views? You want to eat some yummy food? Wait, what? You don't want me to give you that? You gonna call me out instead? But I think I'll pass. You don't believe me? Of course I believe you. This great land is so vast, I'm sure a place as good as that exists somewhere. But I'm also afraid that I'll never want to come back after visiting your utopia. Our mortal lives are too short. As long as I can grow these crops right here, I'll be satisfied. Although going out to have fun with you isn't entirely off the table only if you promise me everyone in this world will never go hungry again. You're in a good mood? Of course! Look, the seeds I tried planting here have sprouted. Now we have another crop to feed ourselves with. Give it a few more years and we'll manage to turn this place of barren land into fertile fields and grow enough food to sustain several more villages. Those villages, you know the people there? No, not at all. Then why do you care about them? Well,
isn't it normal to worry about others, to help each other out? You keep yourself alive just on your own, and what have they helped you with? Maybe they can't help me now, but in the future they might. So you give them food now in exchange for a possible future payoff? You can't really put it that way either. Oh, I almost got lost in your questions. You've lost me too. I remember a phrase from a book written by the sages. All men are kin as with living things. It roughly means that we should care for everyone and everything, like the plants and trees. I'm bad with words, I can't explain it well, and I think the plants and trees right here are pretty and want to grow more of them. I don't like how hunger feels, and I don't want anyone else to suffer it either. A Shan like you couldn't know what starvation feels like, how unbearable it gets. So, what's it like? Your stomach hurts and your organs feel like someone's twisting them. Your body loses all its strength and you just feel empty and non-existent. As if your body's experiencing every suffering in this land at the same time. And how does that feel? Like when a most beloved relative or best friend passes away and you know they'll never come back. I still don't understand. You say you don't, but you've been here with me for so long. Well, I do enjoy our days together. My work feels less tough when I have someone to chat with. It'll be hard for me if you leave one day, so figure out a way to make you stay here for a while longer. Oh, I didn't mean you have to stay here. I just remember that you said that you wanted to understand us mortals. Shinong kind of reminds me of how I play like certain games like, you know, Story of Seasons, Harvest Moon type. Where it's just like, okay, let me talk to like my favorites every day. Basically, Shinong going up to Shu every day and being like, hi, how are you? Hey there, hi, and then slowly winning them over. Gives me similar vibes. And she's literally farming, so... Good comparison. Can you feel happiness now? You called Shinong a fool. Have you heard the old farmers saying that you can't look up when harvesting? You have to keep your head down and courageously reap the crops before you. Once you look up and look out at the fields that stretch out to no end, you won't be able to move. Humans live only a few short decades, and lack the luxury of time to care about what will come after they're gone. Focusing on what's in front of you is tiring enough. But once you lock in on something, you'll achieve many things before you even realize it. Can you guess how far Da Huang's field stretched when Shinong passed? Maybe half of what we have right now, or 1/3. See that hillside to the south? Back then, the field stretched to the foot of that mountain. That small? The conditions then were incomparably worse than what we have right now. We didn't have these originium devices, and it took so much effort just to pull a proper plow through the fields. We couldn't dig up the rocks in the mountains, nor the permafrost up north, so Da Huang stretched only from that hillside to the south to the Shinong statue right here. Where was this recorded? How do you remember it so clearly? Where exactly? I've forgotten myself. The book says Shinong wanted to cultivate the land up north in her later years, but eventually succumbed to illness on her northward search for the Shengu supergrain. So why does the statue face southward? Shinong labored her entire life away just to prevent her fellow men from going hungry and cold. She would have been very attached to the people of her hometown. That's probably where she was looking in her final moments. Actually, what made you decide to become a Nongye Tianchi in the first place? When I was young, I learned how it felt to starve once. Since then, I decided that I wouldn't let anyone else go through that. So you also suffered a famine? Well, that was long, long ago. Just like Shinong. Da Huang has many farmers, and Nongye Tianchis have more or less similar reasons as to why they're here. The sun gradually rises as a spring breeze blows warmth into the air and onto the people. The wind pushes the clouds away, letting a slanted ray of sunlight shine onto the statue's face.
I'm suddenly thinking about the various legends that we have here. Shenong, Excavator, Yan. We still don't know if they were historical people or just myths. Could it be that Shenong wasn't just one woman? She only hoped for more to follow in her footsteps, instead of remembering who she was, so she hid her identity. But this way, no one really remembers the person she was. If someone like that really existed, do you think she'd care if the people here remembered her name at all? If she could see what Da Huang's become? Or maybe she was just shy and didn't want to leave her name and likeness behind. Ooh, more flashback. Phew. If you don't behave and go back home, there won't be any meat in your meals for the next few days. Shoo, you shouldn't be bullying the elderly. Then at your age, do you think it's romantic to watch the snow fall outside with just one layer on? Today is Xiaohan, you know. I knew it. My waist always starts hurting this time of year. Right on schedule. How could you expect me to just lie in bed at home? This winter has been so cold. Will the soil manage to defrost in time for the next spring? That's not something you should be worrying about right now. Keep neglecting your health and you might not even make it to next spring. That won't do. I'm planning to go north again when spring comes. I got lost in the northeastern forest last time, so I'll try walking west this time. You're trying to anger me. Once you're in the ground, I'll have them build a statue here looking towards the north that's always on your mind. I couldn't ask for anything more. But don't let them carve the statue that way I am now. Too ugly.
I like that. He's like, you know what? I'm fine with that, but just one request. Please carve the statue while I was in my prime.
And as for the clothes, reference the outfit your brother gave me. I'm quite fond of it. Oh, speaking of which, I haven't seen him in so many years. I wonder if I'll manage to see him one more time. Time flies so fast. It feels like I met you just yesterday. Several decades gone, just like that.
Over the course of those decades, Da Huang's fields have tripled in size, and our annual crop yields have more than doubled. Everyone calls you Shenong, the godly farmer. Why not be content with that?
Humans are always greedy for more. We're never content. Grow 2 yields of rice this year, and you want 3 the next. Once you have 100 mu of rice, you want 200. Someday, when Da Huang's fields stretch beyond what I can see from here, I wonder if I'll still be able to visit the picturesque place you talked about.
Sure, once you're well again, I'll bring you there in the spring.
You're lying to me again. I realized that a long time ago, you blink hard whenever you lie. Shoo, you knew this day would come.
Of course, didn't I say so? I was used to this long before I met you. All living things abide the laws of mortality.
Do you feel it now?
Feel what?
Feel like a human. Feel happiness over something trivial. Feel sad knowing how something ends. Feel anticipation, reluctance. I know how you feel. This is how humans connect with one another. There are common feelings.
You spent your entire life just to teach me a single thing. You're a pretty bad teacher, honestly.
So you can stay here in my stead after I'm gone? I don't need you to be their patron saint. Just live here as a human. Teach the children the farming methods we developed. A woman as bright as you will surely do a better job teaching than me.
Though remember there was once a woman who spent her entire life on this freezing snowfield just so her people wouldn't go hungry.
Just me alone? I clearly had a Xian in a human form at my side this whole time. But no matter, you live the same way as we do, so no one knows you're a runaway Xian who sneaked into the mortal realm. I won't get to see it, but perhaps a day will come when Da Huang becomes a place you spoke of. I'm sure there'll be many by your side to admire the scenery, and you won't be lonely anymore. When the winter jasmines on the hillside bloom next year, will you weave a wreath for them for me? It's getting late, Laoshi. I'll go prepare the transplanting tools. I'll give it my all no matter how this year's goes.
Off you go. See? They still remember you. An aesthetic like you is still in their minds, even after 1,000 years. What can I say? A Phi-MD springs up a small yellow flower in its beak and drops it on the statue's bamboo hat. It seems to have picked up a good nesting spot, and fetches several more flowers with branches in bunches. Yellow flowers soon cover the brim of the hat. The flowers bloom so beautifully after that parting. I wonder if you still know the way home. Oh, that's cute. That's a wholesome record. That's adorable. Pat pat. Oh, Shu, she's so sweet. Shu and Shenongo are adorable together. Though yo, Shenongo's a real one. I admire her dedication. Like, she's cool. She's super duper cool. And yes, Hesheng and Shu are in Rhodes Island together. They can hang out there. Oh, sadness that he doesn't remember her, even though she basically adopted him as a little baby, so that's even more sad. But it's okay, at least they get to still see each other. At the very, very least. But yeah, overall, it was a sweet event, and I liked her record. Shu's record was nice. Being able to see how bratty Shu was, though. Before she met Shenong. Ha. That was sweet. Very, very sweet. And you know, I'm kind of happy the night is still young, just because I gotta clean up some trash. Mom earlier was kind of like tearing through some of my stuff that I've been leaving in the middle room, which I know I shouldn't be doing that, but sometimes I'm lazy. So I kind of gotta move that stuff or toss it in the trash before I get in trouble, you know? Yeah. So woohoo! Happy that it's only 8:58 p.m. I have time to quickly put my stuff away before she complains to me. Haha! So with that being said, thank you for stopping by the stream. I hope everyone has a great rest of their day and epic gacha luck. I gotta be good now. I'll pour myself a cup of chocolate milk, drink that, and then go to cleaning, my least favorite thing. Gosh darn it, why is it such suffering? Why must I be so lazy and stuff like that? Oh well, no dilly-dallying now. I gotta be good. So I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye. I don't wanna clean. This is the consequences of my actions.